Okay, today on our review, I am going to tackle this back page, which is problems 33 through 45. So before I start actually looking at the problems 33 through 45, I'm going to find all of the missing arcs of the circle. So I'm going to use, let's see here, I'm trying to find a piece of paper. I know that this is a diameter right here. So that means that this is a semicircle. So all of these arcs should add to be 180. So I'm going to add the 42, the 18, the 56, and take that away from 180, and then that's going to give me this. So if I do that, if I add the 42, the 18, and the 56, so I'm adding the 42, the 18, the 56, and I'm going to take that away from 180. That makes that missing arc there 64 degrees. Okay, and I'm going to need that as we're going through the problems down below. All right, that means that this is the other semicircle, so these are all going to add to be 180 as well. I already know this one's 38. Let's see if I know anything else. This angle right here is called a central angle because its vertex is at the center of the circle. And whatever a central angle is, that's what the arc is. So if this is a 90-degree angle, then this is a 90-degree arc. One other thing I could do real quick. If that's 90 degrees, I know angle 6 is 90 degrees. So in a minute, I'm going to put that angle 6 is 90 degrees down at the bottom. Okay, so now I know that this is 38, this is 90, and I'm looking for this guy. So I'm going to add the 38 and 90 and take that away from 180. Okay, so here I go. Let's add the 38 and 90 and take that away from 180. And that makes that a 52-degree arc. Okay. Now I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay, we have actually answered several of these questions. I'm going to shrink this a little bit so I can try to fit in some of the questions with the picture. Okay, measure of arc AB. We already figured that out. The measure of arc AB is 64 degrees. Measure of arc GH, we already figured that out. That's 52 degrees. Okay, measure of arc DH, we already figured that out. That's 90 degrees. And the other thing we did was we said the angle 6 is 90. So over here, for number 41, the measure of angle 6 is 90 degrees. Okay, let's see what else we can do. The rest of this is going to be about whether the angle's vertex is at the center of the circle, on the circle, in the circle, or out of the circle. Number 36 wants me to look at angle 1. So I am going to get out two markers to form angle 1. Angle 1 is this guy right here. And its vertex is on the circle. So that means this angle equals half of the intercepted arc. So it's half of all of this right here, which is a semicircle. So it's half of 180, and half of 180 makes 90. And that's because its vertex was on the circle, and it equals half the arc. Okay, number 37 wants the measure of angle 2. So let's look at angle 2. I'm going to put my markers to make angle 2. And you can see that angle 2's vertex is on the circle. So that means it's going to be half the arc as well. And it's going to be half of this arc right here. The 56 plus the 18 plus the 42. So it's half of the 56, the 18, and the 42. So because it's on, it's half the arc. I'm just going to add those up and divide by 2. So let me just do that here. So adding the 56, the 18, the 42, and it's half of that. So it's going to be 58 degrees. So I'm not writing down all my work here, so hopefully you are understanding, and if you need to write it down for yourself, then you can do that. Okay, next one, angle 3. Angle 3 is right here, and you can see that its vertex is on the circle as well, so it's going to be half of its intercepted arc, so it's going to be half of 64, and half of 64 makes 32. Okay, so I'm just going to write a little on here, which means it's half of arc, and that made 32. Okay, Now all of this stuff I could definitely be writing in my picture as I go, and when I work this out, that's what I do. I just put them in the picture. So like up here, I could put that angle 3 was 32 degrees. I can put that angle 1 is 90 degrees. I can put the angle 2 is 58 degrees. And I think it's a good idea to mark it up in the picture as you go. Okay, number 39 wants the measure of angle 4. So let's look at angle 4. Here come my markers. This time you can see angle 4's vertex is out of the circle. And that's when you do half of big arc minus little arc. So the big arc is 52 and the little arc is 18. Woo. Okay, so this is out. And because it's out, it's half of the big arc minus the little arc. And that's what the angle equals. So it's half of, we said the big arc was 52, minus the little arc, which is 18, and then I'm just going to work that out. So 52 minus 18, and then half of that, and that makes 17 degrees. Okay, measure of angle 5. So let's look at angle 5. Angle 5 is this angle right here. And you can see that its vertex is in the circle. So this is an in problem. So I'm going to write in here. So this is where you find the angle by taking half of arc plus arc. So let me get my markers out so we can see where those arcs are. This is where you actually make an X with your markers. So I'm going to find angle 5 with my markers, and it's half of arc plus arc. So let me move my fingers and see if it rolls away. Okay, it does. So this is the first arc we want to use. So we want to use 38. So it's going to be half of 38 plus the other arc, which is the 18 and the 42 added together. And if I add the 18 and 42, that makes 60. Okay, and then I just have to calculate it. And if I do all that, I get 49. Okay, measure of angle 7. So if you look at angle 7, here's angle 7 right here. You can see its vertex is in the circle, so it's going to be just like that last problem we did. So let me write it down that it's in. So I find the angle by taking half of arc plus arc. And let's just find angle 7. So when it's in, this is when I need to make the X with my markers. So let me find angle 7. Angle 7 is this guy right here. So this is angle 7 right here. So when I do half of arc plus arc, one of the arcs is the 52 plus the 90. And if I add the 52 and the 90, what would that make? 142. And then the other arc is the 56 right here. So I take half of the 142 plus the 56. Okay, so I'm just going to write in my pink marker that I am taking half of 142 plus 56. And then I'm going to add these two together and then divide by 2. And if I do that, I get 99. Okay, let's look at measure of angle 8. So measure of angle 8. I can tell right now that angle 8, its vertex is in the circle, so it's going to be the same formula as the last couple. So let me find angle 8 with my markers. And I'm going to do half of arc plus arc. So my first arc, I need to add together the 64, the 38, and the 52. And if I add the 64, the 38, and the 52 together, that makes 154. And then the other arc is the 42. That's this guy right here, 42. So on number 8, it was in. So I do, the angle is half of that big arc, which was 154, plus the little arc, which is 42. And then if I calculate that together, that makes me 98. Okay, measure of angle 9. When you look at angle 9 right here, I can see that its vertex is in the circle. So it's just like the last several problems. Let me go in pink. So the angle is going to be half of arc plus arc. So let me find angle 9 with my markers. So So here's this, and I'm making the X with it. So here you can see angle 9. So this arc is 90 degrees. That's one of the arcs. And then the other arc that I want to use is the 64, the 56, and the 18. So if I add the 64, the 56, and the 18, that makes 138. So it's going to be half of the 138, that's the big one, and the 90. And if you calculate that, that makes 114. And we got one left to go. Yay! Okay, so let's look at angle 10. Angle 10 is this angle right here, and you can tell that its vertex is on the circle. So this is an on, and when it's on, we find the angle by taking half of the arc. So let me get my markers ready for angle 10. So angle 10 is right here, and it's half of the arc. So it is half of, can you tell which ones? The 52, the 90, the 42, and the 18 added together. So I need to add the 52, the 90, the 42, and the 18. And if I do that, that makes 202. So this is half of 202, which is 101. And there it is. Smiley face. Good luck with your test. I hope this helped. Thank you.